the game once again for today.
Yeah, this storm has quite a history of significant damage, so we need to follow this now moving into the Jacksonville area, and then we'll look at what happens beyond today, because there's other areas with red on the map.
Yeah, our storm threats today extend from East Coast.
Now, in terms of roads are blocked, power is out, some schools are out in the area. We've got a lot of power outages right along where this big line of thunderstorms moved. Now, this number, you got to add about 60,000 plus to it, 66,000 plus to it here. So at least 2.25, 100,000 outages right now, but you add to that more because Leon County wasn't reporting there, and they do have quite a bit. Here's the line right now as it approaches the Jacksonville metro area. We are watching for that potential of significant wind right along that line. We've had a history of winds over 70, over 80 miles per hour. So let's take a look at what we could see here. It's possible that winds make gusts in excess of 80 miles per hour. We've got cities like Gainesville, Sanderson, West Park, all under the severe thunderstorm warning. You can see how it's linear, extends all the way down here again to the Gainesville area. A new severe thunderstorm warning issued just to the east of there as well, and now does include the city of Jacksonville, Jacksonville Beach, Ponte Vedra. Again, significantly damaging winds are possible with this storm. We've had a history of this throughout its entire life, all the way going back into coastal Alabama and southern Alabama. So we want to make sure you take this very seriously. This is not a storm that you want to be caught outside in. You want to be in your safe shelter. Middleburg, 9:05, Jacksonville, 9:15. So we're coming up on that. It's racing eastward, moving very fast. Interlochen, 9:21, Palatka at 9:32, and St. Augustine at 9:37. So we're tracking that east. This is an area under a severe thunderstorm watch. This goes until noon. Again, we're mainly going to track this line east here. There are some thunderstorms that extend back behind it, but the biggest risk right now is with that line as it tracks east and the big wind threat that it brings. So you can see how we have this line that extends back. We got to keep an eye on this. This may bring some severe threats, and so we zoom in. Crestview saw 80 plus mile per hour winds when that main line came through. And now just off to your west, just north of Milton, we've got another cluster of thunderstorms that may be bringing some hail, some half-dollar size hail as a possibility with this as we track this moving along. And these are kind of training too, so got to keep an eye on that. You know, it looks like it's right north of I-10, so not necessarily affecting you on the interstate, but it's awfully close. And when you get off the interstate or get on coming in from the north, you're going to be dealing with that. So again, we've got the radar that's tracking east. We've got these power outages lined up behind it. Mobile, Pensacola, all spots have picked up some strong winds in excess of 60 miles per hour last night with that line of storms. Crestview 84, and some significant damage too. And it's not just here up to the north. We saw some big hail like at Harmony Church Road in southwest Georgia. We had 2.5-inch size hail, so we've got to keep an eye on that hazard today with some of those storms coming in behind this line of storms. Greg.
Your weather, you know, the tornadoes, we've had the hail, we've had the damaging wind, but we've also had that rain. And when we start to add that rain up over the past 7 days, it is a lot of it. We can see plenty of yellows, that's about 3 to 5 inches. And then we can see some of those oranges and some of those reds that go up to about a half a foot of rain before it's been all said and done. Now, with that said, that's been the past 7 days. We still have more rain in the forecast. So yeah, we are saturated, we are soggy. It's not going to take that much more rain to have the flooding occur. Look down towards Mobile, where we could see about 3 to 5 inches more rain coming in Sunday right through your Tuesday. So this is what we're going to continue with, periods of those downpours coming in across the area. And with that, some of it's going to lead to flash flooding, unfortunately. And boy, have we seen our share of flash flooding. Let's talk about what happens for this weekend. Once again, we're back into Texas. And unfortunately, Texas, you look like you're going to be dealing with more thunderstorm activity. We're going to start today. We start your tomorrow, and as we go into Sunday, that's going to be the scenario. And unfortunately, we're looking at Mother's Day, right, as we go into this weekend. So you're gonna have to think outside the box, if you will, with those thunderstorms coming in across the area. Here's the flash flooding that we could see Sunday morning into your Monday morning as well. And the dark green coloring, that's where it will be more likely that we'll see it. But even in the light colors up towards Wichita, again, the same suspects. Oklahoma, we're going to be dealing with more of the flooding potential out there. And because of all this rain and the flooding concerns, the rivers are swollen. We can see some of the purples. Again, this is back into Texas. We're looking at this around Louisiana. And we can see major, moderate, minor flood stages happening across these areas. So the flood threat, it is real as we go into next week. So Monday into Tuesday morning, we'll start to see this, and then it starts to shift a little bit further on off towards the east as we go into your Tuesday and Wednesday. Bottom line, as we stay further on off towards the south, we do have that threat of flooding. Let's go ahead and time this out for you because we can see plenty of storminess happening around Texas as we go in through the weekend. But look what happens as we go into your Monday as well. So your commute home as we go into your Monday is going to be slow go, really not the best at all. This week's continuous wave of severe thunderstorms have left states beaten and battered, and one of those states is Tennessee, where dangerous and deadly storms tore through several communities. CBS News correspondent Dave Malkoff has the latest from hard-hit Columbia, Tennessee.
There's a saying, run from the water, hide from the wind here in those buildings rated for wind. I want to talk more about the water, and that's often the reason why evacuations are issued. So just planning ahead for hurricane season, this is a good time to think about it. In North Carolina, it's important to know your zone here at readync.org or actually ncdps.gov, or just search it up, North Carolina evacuation zone. It's a good time to do it now while no storms are threatening. You think about Dare County, the Outer Banks. There's actually Zone A, Zone B, Zone C, and Hatteras Island, Cape Hatteras National Seashore, Rodanthe, Avon, they're all in Zone A. But let's search up for Kitty Hawk because you're actually in Zone B, and some of the other communities like Oregon Inlet and Duck and Kill Devil Hills, those are actually all Zone B. So it's important to know what zone you're in and then to listen to officials when they do issue evacuations. A lot of times they do it in certain order just to manage traffic and people getting out. And of course, not always does everyone need to be evacuated. Let's go inland to the Elizabeth City area. So we're actually going to go away from the coast, but go up along the Pasquotank River. Elizabeth City is right